Gordon, I got another question for you. We know that this is a critical time. Many people quarantine at home. They fed up with stream movies, mobile game, looking for good music or other stuff. So what's your suggestion for them to do to have a peaceful time? And before you answer, if you haven't subscribed our channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and give us a thumbs up. We got more videos share with you. Yes, and I know million people, they have to stay home.
Now,
they have to change their life.
Everything's changed, isn't it now? Everything's gone online suddenly. And for people, I think, over recent years, all over the world, there's been a massive upsurge in interest in people who like going to gong baths.
Oh yeah, they couldn't go now. Many
Can't
people
go to a
couldn't
gong bath anymore. Yeah. And I think this is, all them live events have been cancelled all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's a big, it's a real shame.
Yeah.
And so let's start by talking about those people and what's a good we call it, say, substitute. Maybe you might think there's no substitute for the being in a gong bath, and maybe there isn't. But I've got some suggestions anyway.
Yes.
I think first of all, what's not quite so good. I mean, I would suggest that
not quite so good.
Yeah, that a lot of gong players now are turning to Facebook and doing Facebook lives and so on.
I know you do a lot of study.
I have, and I think the trouble is with this stuff, and there's also Instagram Live and these live streaming social media channels. Very popular for people to put stuff up. The trouble with them is that the quality of the visual is not too good. Which maybe that's not so much of a problem because you're maybe looking mainly for the sound to be good, but the sound is also letting you down as well, and it's a big issue. I think it is possible to make good videos and with a good sound, and you're more like you can find those on platforms like Vimeo, YouTube, all sorts. Where people have really taken good care to make a nice picture and a nice sound recording. The other thing is, though, with a gong bath, what are you doing? You're lying down in a darkened room normally, so the visual is not kind of an issue. Yeah. So for me, I think let's go back to our tried and tested old-fashioned CDs, or if you haven't got a CD player, then MP3s and what are enhanced WAV files, which are like CDs and audio files. And we have all our albums still available in those formats, and you can. And there's a couple actually, Ealing, of gong bath performances that we have that I would recommend for people who like gong baths.
For people really like gong baths. For people who didn't know what's gong bath is mainly is a gong, the very big and powerful instrument, and in between they got other small instruments.
Sometimes you'll have other instruments
make it
involved.
So people during the gong bath, sometimes people fall to sleep, sometimes people awake, but they were especially physically, and they are mentally, and sometimes it's the high awareness. They have a wonderful experience. That's why more and more people fancy about going to a gong bath, like going to yoga. So shame that many people they couldn't go live gong bath. So some people ask me about, also my student asked me that, what can they do when they couldn't go gong bath? So what's your suggestion?
Yeah, we've got 2 gong bath albums. Actually, they're actually One of them's edited, so it's got other inserts into it, but it's basically a Gong Bath album called Starlight Journey, which we like very much. And then there's another one which is completely live called Beginnings. I think it was the first album you and I made together, wasn't it?
Amazing,
And they're both very popular, and they're great for actually getting getting the atmosphere of a gong bath in your home, and you can really get the benefits of the gong bath from these albums, I would say. As I say, we've got them available in all those 3 formats, so whichever you like. And in fact, all the albums that we're going to discuss in this video are available.
And check below.
Down below.
But now we have a short clip to listen the Starlight Journey. Yes, and Gordon, I got another question to ask you. For people they want to do meditation at home, to have a calmer, peaceful life, these days very difficult, I know. So what your suggestion for them?
Now, this is great. Whether or not you're in quarantine or not, I think it's fantastic to have a sound enhanced meditation experience. It can really empower and focus your meditation. It can help you with intentions and all sorts. And I've got a couple of recommendations. Again, I mean, there's loads and loads of stuff about on streaming services and YouTubes of this. My recommendations are, again, they're audio recordings that are available on these 3 formats that we have. One is called The Lightning Path, which is a sequential gong meditation based on the Tree of Life. So it's kind of a meditation on the Tree of Life. Very deep. Very powerful. We get amazing response back from that. It's one of the most popular albums that we've ever made. I've ever made.
The Lightning Path.
And The Lightning Path. Another more recent album, in fact, it's not that long since we finished it, is called The Whisper of Angels in English, and it's an angel meditation. I'm really keen on this album. It's about embracing the angel elemental energies and bringing it's kind of actually...
Now in the background I play this, a little short track,
The other thing I think I'd like to say about both those albums, why they aid in meditation, is that they're like, that you can go on a journey, you can go on a meditative journey with them. One is embracing this, there's an affirmation which goes with the Angels album, and there's kind of one with the Lightning Path too, but they're both very powerful, I think, enhanced aids to meditation. Those are the 2 that I would most recommend.
For people, if they want to, although they couldn't go out or they have to have restriction to go out to the nature, what's your suggestion?
Now, this is, I think, very, I'm looking out from this video at beautiful river and the green trees and the mountains and so on outside of Taipei. Many people are stuck in cities. Many people are stuck in small homes and studio apartments and flats in cities, and they're in quarantine and they can't get out into any kind of natural surroundings at all. And for that, I've got a fantastic recommendation for that, which is one of my favourite albums that I made. It's called Ode to Nature, which is kind of self-explanatory. What it is, viewers, is it's a combination of natural sound recordings that I made during trips to the Scottish Highlands and the coastal and mountain areas of Taiwan a couple of years back, which are put in together It's kind of a collage with organic instruments like gongs.
Yes.
There's loads of instruments on there, aren't there? Singing, but every kind of organic instrument imaginable. Conch shells, harps. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of bird song on it. Natural
real
sounds,
birds, real water.
Pipes, flutes. All sorts of stuff, and it's like a natural soundscape collage, let's call it. And I think that really takes you into it. Just makes you feel as though you're in a natural surrounding.
It's very easy to visualize the pictures in the nature, because all the elements, all the recording is really come from the nature. It's not synthesized.
Absolutely, I think that's a really important point. And again, it's kind of a journey through. There's a sort of a journeying in it involved in it too, I think.
Yes.
So that would be my kind of my fifth recommendation, or my third group of recommendations. Ode to Nature.
Yeah, that's also my pick.
Nature.
Yeah. So in the end, before we leave, so we hope you have a very peaceful, tranquil time, no matter where you are, and stay home or stay healthy. We see you next time. I will play the Ode to Nature, short clip of Ode to Nature. We see you next time. Bye for now.
Stay well, everybody.
Yes,
Bye.
stay well.